Nobody plans on getting into an accident, but life is what happens while we're making other plans. That's why 1-800-TAP-HURT is the number to call if you've been injured in an accident, even if it's not your fault. 1-800-TAP-HURT knows it's all about the 4 C's: care, compassion, communication, and most importantly, compensation. Call 1-800-TAP-HURT after an accident. Car accident? Don't delay. We're a tap away. 1-800-TAP-HURT. 1-800-TAP-HURT.
Let's see. Turn this way. Something like that. Let's see here. Oh, that's too many audio things in there. Okay, let me turn up this microphone a little bit. Adjusting my levels live on the stream here. Ooh. Bumping my desk super hard. Live on the stream. Yes. Great. Okay. First time trying to do a painting stream. So we'll see how this goes. I don't know how well this is going to work necessarily. I guess we'll find out. Okay. Well, let's see. I mean, I think we're pretty much live at this point. You guys let me know how the audio is and stuff. Okay, I'm on the opposite side of my desk speaking into a microphone I'm only just using for the first time ever. So I'm probably going to be doing some random little adjustments here. Let me know how it is. Let me know what you guys think. Is the music too loud? Is it not loud enough? Am I loud enough? Am I not loud enough? I don't know. Let me know all of those things. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, I know I had this scheduled for 10:30, but I don't know, I was bored, so I thought I'd start early. And it's okay if you don't get here until, you know, later or something, or if you're just watching this on the replay or whatever, that's cool too, you know. That's fine. Anyway, I'm just gonna paint some mechs. Yeah. I've never done a painting stream before, so bear with me. Also, I was noticing earlier this camera probably isn't the best for this. It's probably okay, but I don't know. It's the Elgato face cam, so I mean it is it's a good webcam, but it's a webcam nonetheless. I don't have a better camera to use for this that I'm not currently using. Anyways, okay, here's what we're actually doing. Okay, so welcome to the stream, everyone. I'm gonna call this painting on the dark side, since when we play video games, it's gaming on the dark side. When we're painting, it's going to be painting on the dark side. Anyways, okay, so we're painting some BattleTech models today. And we're probably going to be doing this for a while, because, I mean, we're probably not going to finish this in one go. That seems incredibly unlikely. You know what? I'm just realizing I forgot to get my wet palette ready. It's right here. And I did not get it wet. I was going to use this, and I completely forgot. I have this nice Army Painter wet palette. Well, you know, nobody's really here yet, so I guess I could just go prepare this and stuff. Let's see. Something like that. Yeah. Maybe we'll do that. Let's see. What if I just add thing here. Yeah, here we go. Okay. We can do this. Okay, I'm just gonna go get my wet palette ready, and then I'll be right back. How about that? So I'm just gonna put that up for just a minute. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go get this spongy thing wet, and we're gonna paint with the wet palette tonight. It's not gonna be the first thing we do, but we are gonna use the wet palette. So, okay. I'll be right back, guys. Oh, hey, Irish Rogue. I'm AFK for a second. I'm getting new palette paper out of the closet. This thing right here. I'm almost back. I think I got 2 sheets right there. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, and we are back. I mean, let's see. Let's just take the overlay down. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right. Irish Rogue, what's up, man? Although I think it's super cool that we're gonna get to watch a paint. Yeah. Okay. I think I just got 2 sheets of this out. Let's. Oh no, this is the camera. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So, this is like. What is this called? It's like parchment paper, right? So, wet palette. If you've never seen a wet palette before, which I'm sure you have if you've seen anybody paint before, right? Okay, so this is like a big sponge, basically, and you get it wet, and then you place this parchment paper on top of it, like so, and then it should kind of stick down. Oh, clearly I haven't gotten the sponge wet enough. Shit. Okay, this is not how I normally do this, but I don't want to go into the kitchen again. This is what we're doing right now. Don't do this. This is the wrong way to do this. Don't normally just pour water on this like this. I'm just being lazy. I feel like I'm gonna spill water all over my desk right now. I've literally never done this before. Okay. There's kind of a borderline between getting this thing wet enough and not, or between having it too wet and not wet enough. So it is wet enough. Ah, here we go. Okay, it's wet enough when the parchment paper actually sticks to it like this, and then kind of doesn't curl up at the edges. But it's too wet. Yeah, okay. So it's too wet. I don't know if you can see this. It's too wet when water actually kind of pools up in here and stuff. Yeah, so I have slightly too much water in here right now. That's great. Okay. Well, that's what I get for not prepping this beforehand. I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be fine. We'll just use that to thin the paint a little bit. Some of the Vallejo paint comes out a little bit thick anyway. And we'll just leave it open for a second because it's not the first thing we're going to use. I'm going to do some washes, or a wash, before we actually get to the wet palette. So, okay, we're just going to move the wet palette back here for a minute, and that's fine. It can just chill back there. Okay, so the first thing we need is one of our Army Painter, not sponsored by Army Painter in any way, is one of our Army Painter monster brushes. It's got a really big tip. We'll just kind of, this is my paint water over here, my Darth Vader coffee cup. So, okay, I'm gonna use this because here's what we're gonna do right away. The first thing we're gonna do. Okay, so notice the difference in coloration between these two mechs. This is my Lance of Mechs here that we're working on painting. So these are 2 atlases. This is my metal atlas right here. This is the old one. This is how the atlas used to look. And you know, I thought I liked this better, but honestly, I think I like the new one better. So this is the old metal model from like 2000, 2001, something like that. I bought this in a store when it was new. And this is a model that I 3D printed. I don't know how close I can hold this to the camera before it goes out of focus. This camera doesn't autofocus, it just focuses on things at a certain distance. Anyway, this is the model of the Atlas that I 3D printed. All the rest of these mechs are 3D printed. Anyway, so here's what we're doing. We are applying. So I have airbrushed some primer, some dark gray primer, and a magic blue Vallejo magic blue. This color base coat onto these mechs. And on these two mechs, the two Atlases, I have also applied a pretty thick wash of Army Painter Dark Tone. And that's what we're doing to these other two mechs right now. So that's what the difference is here. The two Atlases have had Dark Tone applied over the Magic Blue, and the Archer and the Raven have not. So we want them all to look uniform. So we're going to apply Dark Tone to the Archer and the Raven. And it takes a while to dry, so I did these two earlier in the day because washes take 30 to 45 minutes to dry or so. So while these two are drying, I mean, it'll take a minute to apply it, but while these two are drying, we can then move on to the next steps with the two Atlases. Army Painter, send them free stuff, right? Yeah, send me free stuff. Send me speed paints. Give me the new speed paints. Yeah, I would love to use speed paints. Speaking of speed paints, I'm gonna go off on a tangent here. You know what? Let's paint while I talk about stuff. How about that? So for washes and like contrast paints and things that are generally very thin and runny, I just like to use a regular palette. This is my GW. This is a sheet from my GW palette pad. Anyways. But, what was I saying? Shit, I lost my train of thought. Palette pads and washes and things. What was I saying? Something about Army Painter speed paints. And then I was gonna... Damn, no, I lost my train of thought. Okay, well, let's apply some dark tone to this Archer, and we're basically just gonna slather this all over it pretty thickly. And if you want to do the same thing, also we're going for like a House Davian color scheme here. So if you want to do the same thing, you can use Nuln Oil for this, and I have a bunch of Nuln Oil, but I chose the Army Painter Dark Tone because Nuln Oil is slightly gray. It's not exactly a black, whereas Dark Tone is black. It's very sharply black, so it contrasts with the blue like very nicely, right? It does stain a lot, as you see on the other two mechs. So the next step after applying the Dark Tone is... Okay, I gotta figure out how to hold these so my hand isn't right in front of the camera. Let's see. So the next step after applying the dark tone is going to be to kind of lighten these back up in certain areas. So we're going to have to go around with the magic blue and just reapply it in some areas. And that's basically the GW painting method, but you know, I like it. A lot of people kind of talk shit about that painting method, but it is kind of practical, you know. Yeah. Man, I can't remember what I was gonna say. What was I gonna say? Gosh, speed paint. Was I gonna say something about speed paint? Damn, I don't remember. Wow, it's just got... Don't you hate it when that happens? Just... like right in the middle of a sentence and all of a sudden you just kind of forget what you're talking about. Something about speed paint. Yeah, I remember I was talking about speed paint. Oh, I remember. Okay. Yeah, speaking of speed paint and contrast paints and stuff like that. Okay. So I had heard a whole bunch of like really good things about where is it? Let's see. Right here. About this stuff. This stuff here. Steinl Res Primer. Okay. And so I bought some, as evidenced by this bottle of Steinl Res Primer. Okay, and that's not what I used on these mechs, but I did use it on a bunch of other models that I printed and stuff. Okay, so normally I use Vallejo Primer, and I used Vallejo Primer on these mechs, and it came out fantastic, right? Well, on a bunch of other models, on some models I printed for like Stargrave and Frostgrave and that kind of stuff, which is in boxes in the other room right now, I used this Steinl Res Primer. And here are my thoughts about Steinl Res Primer. It's garbage. I got a couple of models to come out okay looking with it, right? But man, it cracks. It goes on, it dries, and it cracks. Now, it's normal. The normal action of paint is that when you apply it, like right now, when I'm applying paint to this model, it's a kind of runny liquid. However, as it dries, what is happening is it is kind of shrinking on top of the model, right? So it kind of grabs onto itself and clings to the model like this, and it shrinks. Like the surface area, the surface area of the paint reduces over time, and that is how it adheres to the model, right? That is how it conforms to the shape of the model, and that's normal. But with this Steinl Res Primer, I don't know what the deal is, man. Like, does it shrink too much? Is it something to do with the temperature? I have no idea. Because what happens is it goes on, it's first of all, it's hard to spray out of the airbrush. It clogs the airbrush. Like, real bad. Like, you get so much out of the airbrush, and then you gotta dump it. You gotta shove a little brush thing up in there and unclog it, and just, wow, it's hard to get it to go on. And then when you do get it to go on, it cracks. So Steinl Res Primer, not good. Vallejo Primer, much better, right? So I've just ordered a new thing of Vallejo White Primer, and in the future I want to try, contrast paints and speed paints and stuff over the new Vallejo White Primer. So I have right here, let's see, I have right here some Vallejo White Primer. This is also not that great, just this regular Vallejo White Primer. It doesn't crack or anything, and it adheres fine, but it is a little transparent. And a primer should not be transparent. So what I've done is I've ordered a new Vallejo White Primer, which is not this. It's not this white primer. It is Mecha Primer. And the reason I think that will be better is because when I'm finished with a model, I'm going to take down another thing from the shelf right here. I like to use Vallejo Mecha Varnish. This stuff is amazing. This is, any of these varnishes, matte, satin, gloss, I have all of them. Fantastic. I recommend this 127%. Fantastic. Best primer varnish I've ever varnished with. Sprays out of the airbrush beautifully. You got to thin it a little bit, but if you're airbrushing stuff, you should be doing that. You should be thinning it a little bit, not heavily, but a little. But yeah, sprays out of the airbrush beautifully. So I feel like Vallejo Mecha Primer White will be superior to regular Surface Primer White just because of the alternate branding, I guess. Like, the mecha stuff is supposed to be tougher because it's meant to be handled. It's more for, like, people who paint Gunpla and stuff. Because that stuff gets handled a lot. You know, you build a Gundam and you want to, like, pose it and put different, you know, weapons and accessories in its hands and stuff. So, you know, the more you handle it, the more you risk the paint rubbing off or scraping off and stuff. And so you need a very strong primer and you need a very strong varnish in order to compensate for that. So I have ordered a new white primer, and I'm very interested to see, with that new white primer, how well contrast paints work with it. Now, my original intention for these Davian mechs was to use a white primer. Ooh, ads. I love ads. My original intention was to use a white primer, and then you just kind of use contrast paints for these. I don't have speed paints at the moment, but I do have a bunch of contrast paints. And that is what I was going to do with these mechs. However, that did not work out. And so I ended up priming these like kind of a dark gray. I have this bottle of primer that I kind of mixed, and it's a 50-50 mix of Vallejo gray primer and Vallejo black primer. Now, the Vallejo gray primer is fantastic, and so is the black. But when you mix them, they just make kind of a dark gray. So the gray primer is very light. It's almost white. Like, I have used contrast paints over the Vallejo gray primer, and that works fantastically. But when you mix the Vallejo gray with the Vallejo black, it just makes a dark gray primer. But I found this very useful when I was painting my Dark Angels army, because black primer made the Dark Angels green armor color come out too dark. Like, it wasn't... If you airbrush, or just regular brush, dark green over black, it just comes out black. But then if I tried to airbrush or paint that same dark green color over gray or white, then wow, it was super bright. Wow. And Dark Angels clearly are not supposed to be bright. So, solution, make our base color darker. Alright, so black is too dark, gray is too light, so mix them, right? So I had a dark gray sort of primer, and that worked great for the Dark Angels and stuff. And I hadn't really used it on anything else until I started doing these mechs. And I thought, well, I don't want to just make them black because, you know, they're going to be blue, and if we try to just paint blue over black, it's going to be very muted. And I didn't want these mechs to come out super muted, even though we're putting black on top of our blue right now. But this is achieving a different effect, a different purpose than what our kind of base coat thing does, right? This is just giving us a nice depth effect. And yes, it's staining the blue, but once we get all of this dark tone on the Raven here, you will see how we're going to bring that blue back, and then it will have a very nice low lighting effect. And then once we do that, we're going to highlight. So, base coat, low light, restore, mid-tone, highlight, and possibly highlight some more, and then that will be, you know, most of the blue. And then we'll do the details. The really fun bit is going to be trying to freehand that House Davian, like, white and red stripe. I think what we're going to do for that is use Mephiston red for the base of the red part of the stripe, and then we'll just try stuff and see if it works, because I'm the sort of painter who doesn't necessarily plan things out in advance. I kind of just try things at the time, and if it works, I go with it. And if it doesn't work, I mean, I just try something else, you know? We fix it somehow, and yeah. So what I'm gonna try for the white part of the stripe, the base of the white part of the stripe, is Althuan Gray. I don't know how well that's gonna go over blue. We'll see. It might not. We might have to start with a more neutral sort of base for the white part of the stripe. We might have to start with something like Celestra Gray or something. I'm naming a lot of GW colors because I have a lot of GW colors, and that's probably a lot of what we're going to be using. Mostly the paints I have are like GW, Vallejo. I have a couple other brands of paints, but I don't have a lot. I have Army Painter washes, but I don't actually have any like actual Army Painter paints. But yeah. Let's see. This is coming out pretty decently. I haven't actually used any GW paints on these up to this point. And I mean, even in the next step, we're not going to use GW paints. We're gonna go back to the magic blue after this, and we're gonna bring back the mid-tone here. Yeah. So I mean, you can see it's really desaturating the blue. The magic blue is a nice poppy, bright blue color. I mean, it's not like aggressively blue, but it's very blue at the same time. Okay. All right, now I got a little gloppy area. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. All right. Looks decent. Okay, so now, there we go. And yes, there's some wash kind of pooled up in places here, but that's okay. I mean, generally you want to try and pull the pooled up wash out of the recesses if it's too heavy, but you know, if we miss it, that's okay. It's no big deal.
There's gourmet chocolate, plush toys, bunny ears.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Bubbles?
I mean, we're never gonna get
We do.
100% of it when we kind of douse a whole model like that with it. Let's see. Okay, there we go. So now we've got Army Painter Dark Tone on all of those mechs. So the next thing we're gonna do, next we're gonna use a different brush. So we're gonna just take some Masters brush cleaner. This stuff is fantastic. The Masters brush cleaner. We're gonna take some of this. We're gonna get our brush wet and just kind of swirl it around in here. Doodly doodly doo. This, roll it a little bit, and then, yeah, just kind of not used to holding this in front of a camera. Let's see. Just roll it. And then come over here. Do the same thing on the paper towel a little bit. And just kind of swizzle that around in the paint water. Doop-a-doop. And then you won't be able to see this on camera, So I'll show you as much as I can off camera, and then the rest will be a descriptive process. But what I like to do to let my brushes dry is right after I've cleaned them like this, what I do is I take a metal gator clip, and the barbecue skewer part in the back is not important. That's there for a different thing. But what I do is I take a metal gator clip and bump the camera with it, and then I clip that metal gator clip onto the back of the brush like so that now it has a piece of metal on the back. And then up here is the boom arm for the microphone. And then there are some little hobby magnets on this boom arm, which is a big piece of metal. And so I take the hobby magnet and I clip that to the boom arm, and then I just stick the thing right there, so the brush will then hang upside down like this. And the reason I do that, whoops, and we'll just drop it right on its bristles. That's great. Any particular reason that house? I don't know what you mean by that. What do you mean that house? Any particular reason that house? What house? Oh, you mean House Davian. Oh, sorry. Any particular reason House Davian? Is that what you're asking me? Right, I'll explain that right after I finish this. The reason that I hang the brushes upside down is because if you don't, then any liquid, any water that's collected here will, like if you if you just set it like this, now all the liquid will run into the ferrule, and it will fuck up the glue that's holding the bristles in here. So I like to let my brushes dry this way, and that way all the liquid runs out of it. Okay. Let's see. Why House Davian though? Is that what you're asking me? Why am I doing a House Davian thing? 1 second. Okay. Why am I doing House Davian? Well, House Davian is my favorite Innersphere house. When I was in I think I told this story while we were playing Mech Warrior on Gaming on the Dark Side. But when I was in high school, there was another BattleTech tabletop game called Mech Warrior Dark Age. And that was from WizKids. And WizKids makes such games as HeroClix, right? And so Mech Warrior Dark Age was kind of a HeroClix BattleTech game, right? And it didn't use these models. It used like plastic models on HeroClix bases, basically. So if you don't, like, it's a base where it like clicks and it like shows you, it has this little dial and it like shows you different, anyways. So I was very into that game for a long time, and I had a whole House Davian army, and it was this sort of game where you would get like booster packs of mechs, and you didn't know what you were going to get in the booster packs. This is before loot boxes were a thing, so it wasn't called loot boxes yet. It was called booster packs, right? But it was the same thing as a loot box. You didn't know what you were going to get. But anyways, I had all these House Davian mechs, and they were all blue. They didn't have the little white and red stripe on them, but you know, they would say like Davian and then like a pilot's name on the base and stuff, and that was really cool. And I had an Atlas. And it was really cool, and it was like a special character Atlas, and it was a Davian blue Atlas, and I really liked it. Oh man. And then the game Mech Warrior 4 came out at some point, and you are a House Davian pilot in Mech Warrior 4, and I just really liked the story and the protagonist and stuff in that game. So I don't know, Davian just hits my BattleTech nostalgia button, really. So House Davian army, basically. When I paint up a clan star of mechs, it's going to be Clan Ghostbearer for the same reason. Ghost Bear pushes my BattleTech nostalgia button. That's really what it is. So, yeah. Anyway, okay. So what we're gonna do right now is, so now we've desaturated the mechs with our Army Painter dark tone. So now we need to bring back the saturation, right? So now we need to bring back the mid-tone. So we're going to, oh, and now I need my wet palette also. So I'm just gonna put this up here, and we'll bring back the wet palette here. Okay. Anyway, so we're gonna use Vallejo Magic Blue because that was the original base tone. So we're gonna reapply it. If I can actually open the bottle, that would be great. I like Vallejo paints because they actually just come in dropper bottles. I want to just take a minute and show you guys a thing. These are my GW paints. Notice I put them in dropper bottles because GW paints come in the worst containers ever conceived by a human, right? So all of my GW paints, even washes and contrast paints, are in dropper bottles. So I don't know, I just had to emphasize that. But anyway, okay, we're gonna use some Vallejo Magic Blue. And I'm just gonna put some of this on the wet palette here. Probably don't need a super huge amount. Let's see. Actually, I think I might want a smaller brush than this. Let's see. This is just kind of a cheap Amazon brush. It's a number 2 brush. Let's see. We'll try this. A little tip, you always want to use the largest brush you can possibly get away with. Otherwise, you're going to spend way more time painting a model than you actually need to. Yeah, we'll try our number 2 brush. So anyways, we want to get it rolled into a pretty tight point and stuff. Now these are pretty cheap brushes. These are the type of brushes where it's like $10-15 for like 3 or 4 of them, you know. But they're okay. I mean, if you clean them normally and don't let a bunch of gunk dry in them and stuff, they're fine. I mean, they do wear out relatively quickly, but they're cheap, so just replace them. I have nicer brushes, but we're just going to use these for right now. So we're going to get a little bit of our Vallejo Magic Blue paint here. And then I'm going to try and hold this mech in a way that everybody can see it. And we're just going to kind of... Oh, you know what? I need my big magnifying glass for this. Let's see. Can I put this... Oh, shit. It won't reach far enough, will it? Oh, it will. Yes. Hang on. There's going to be more light. Oh, look at that. Okay. Hopefully this does... Here's my big magnifying glass. It's also on an articulating arm. And it has a nice LED light in it. Oh, that's perfect. Ooh, good. Yes. Okay. And then I'm holding that in a way that you guys can't see it. Awesome. Okay. Can everybody see this? I've never done this on camera before. Let's see. Okay. So we're just gonna kind of reapply this in the middle here. And we're gonna kind of avoid the edges. No, I'm holding this in a really awkward way, and you guys can't see that either. Okay, let me try to do this without the magnifying glass. Maybe that'll work better. Let's see. How about this? Can we see this? I can see that, right? Can you guys see that? Okay, and then I'm gonna need to bring the microphone closer to my face over here. Because now I have to be closer to the mech. Let's see. Fortunately, the microphone is on a big articulating arm, so that is a thing I can do. Let's see. Okay, my face is gonna be here, so what if I just bring this right about here? Okay, that seems good. Alright. Here we go. Alright, so can you guys see what that's doing? We're just reapplying the magic blue to the big kind of open panel-y areas and stuff. And you know, this is gonna take a minute. You know, it's not gonna be like the quickest process in the world. But see the difference? Yeah, okay. So basically we're just gonna go over most of the mech and do that, and we're not necessarily gonna be incredibly precise with it, or you know, we don't have to apply it exactly everywhere, really. Just in some kind of key areas and stuff. Hopefully I'm not blocking that too much. Now, the face right here, this particular face part, we're not going to go in here and apply blue on this particular model or on the other Atlas model, because Atlases have kind of a, what's the word I'm looking for, like an iconic face thing that we're gonna do where it looks like a skull. So when we get out the Althuan Gray, which is basically an off-white color, we're going to use that to make the face have that like classic Atlas skull appearance, you know? I think that'll be pretty cool. Let's see. But yeah, we can just go around to like most of the areas, and it doesn't have to be, you know, fucking like super duper fantastic looking or anything. It doesn't have to be like precisely covering just every single, you know, fraction of a millimeter of every single panel. But basically, we do need to make the mech look like it has depth, because if we just leave it dark and desaturated like this, it's just going to look like it has grime all over it, and it's going to look bad, basically. It's going to look like we just dunked it in a thing and didn't really care about it too much. And there's really no particular order I'm doing this in. I'm just picking out spots as they become apparent to me. You know, I'm just kind of going around it. You know, I didn't so much mean for this to be a tutorial, but I guess it's kind of turning into that. Anyway, let's see. I don't think we'll do inside the little... Ah, shit. I don't think we'll do inside the little antenna radar dish thing there. And there are some spots we're probably not going to hit where you're going to go, well, why didn't you get that spot? And that would be because those spots are going to be a different color. So right now the entire model is blue, but you know, at the end the entire model is not going to be blue. It's going to be, you know, different colors. Like I just said, the face is going to be a different color, but also the weapons are going to be different colors, and also like the joints are going to be different colors, and just generally stuff like that. Like we're gonna do some metallics in the joints, and I think we're gonna make the weapons mostly black. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what we feel like when we get to it. Like I have an idea of what I want it to look like, and while I don't try to plan out the whole paint job ahead of time, I do have a rough concept of what I want it to look like. So I just try to get as close to that concept as possible. Now, what we are being very careful not to do here is get any blue paint into the recesses here, because the entire point of applying the dark tone wash is to get it into the recesses, right? So it provides contrast, it provides it gives it kind of a three-dimensional look, right? Because if it were just all this flat blue, it would look very two-dimensional. It would look very, very uninteresting and bland and stuff. And see how it's already starting to pop a little bit? I can see it on the camera even. It's making a huge difference. And we're gonna go through all 4 of these mechs, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna just bring this color back. Now there are some areas on this particular model where we're not gonna do that. Like the arms for example, and like maybe a little bit on the legs here where we're not going to do that because it has a weird texture. It has this weird scaly texture where if we try to paint over that in this way, it's gonna kind of defeat the purpose of having the wash applied to it. So what we're gonna do after this is we're gonna come back with a dry brush of Vallejo Electric Blue, and that will make the blue color pop even more. So I mean, right now it's being pretty blue, it's being fairly blue, but it is not by any means being its most blue. It is not the blueness, if that makes any sense. It can be bluer. So we're just gonna put some right in there and see. Even these parts have that little scaly texture. I don't know how well that shows up on this particular camera, but let's see. Okay, you can see it. Yeah, like right here. See this scaly texture. This is very prevalent on this particular model. Not on these. The 3D prints don't have this, but this one in particular has this. So, well, we might kind of, you know what? I guess we could give it a shot. We'll try it and see how it comes out. And if it looks like crap, we'll stop. We'll experiment with it in an area where no one will notice if it doesn't look good, because I'm not gonna put dark tone back over it, you know. But if it doesn't look good, then we'll just not worry about it. But if it does look good, then hey, we'll keep doing it. You know, why not? That's kind of how we experiment with things. Don't be afraid to experiment with your models. The worst thing that's gonna happen is, you know, like the very worst case scenario for messing up painting on a model is you have to strip all the paint off and start over. You know. Am I hearing commercials in your music in the background? Yeah, I'm using Spotify, so yeah, commercials. Yeah. This is a royalty-free playlist that's like safe to use for YouTube and Twitch and stuff. But because I don't pay for Spotify or anything, so yes, there are unfortunately gonna be ads in the background music. I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do about that. I didn't want to hear the same music that I normally use when I'm playing MechWarrior or something like that, you know. I figured because this stream is gonna be probably a couple hours, I didn't want the same music to repeat over and over if we're not like playing a video game over it or something, because it's just me talking basically. Oh, right here actually, I just started putting blue on this weapon. Actually, we're gonna make that black, so I don't actually need to have that be blue. So let's just forget that I did that. Okay, let's try out blue in one of these scaly areas. Okay, like here on his back. Here is some area like this. Let's try this. Is this gonna look terrible if I do that? It doesn't look that bad. What do you guys think? That doesn't look that bad, right? Huh. Okay, I don't hate it. Okay, yeah, maybe we'll go into it. Do like these big scaly leg areas and stuff. We'll do some blue in there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I think we will. You know what? In fact, let's try it, because what was I just saying? The worst that's going to happen is we're going to strip it and start over. Yeah. I'm all for the school of thought where we just try things and see what happens, right? So there we go. That's trying a thing and seeing what happens, basically, right there. I don't hate it. All right, we'll keep doing that. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Now there are areas we're going to avoid. Oh, and there were some seam lines in this apparently. Huh. Don't see a lot of seam lines in metal models. But anyway, okay, yeah, like that right there, the little area right there, we're gonna leave that kind of the color it was, so it has some contrast and stuff. Contrast is very important in models. Very important. Contrast is what makes the colors pop, because colors are only saturated or desaturated or brighter or darker in relation to other colors that we're seeing on the model. So if we use a color that we think is not bright enough or poppy enough, we can make it appear brighter or poppier by placing near it a color that is darker. And I'm not going to do kind of inside here up in there because that can be a little bit more shadowy. But so far I think this is coming out pretty nicely. I think this is working out pretty well. This is looking very much like I envisioned it looking so far. And I got a little bit of paint in that recess where I didn't want it there, but that's okay. One thing that you have to learn when you are beginning to paint miniatures is that if you don't go around pointing out all of your mistakes to people who might see your models, most people will never notice. So if I had not just told everyone who's watching this stream that I got some paint in this little recess right here, no one would notice. and you'll kind of get a knack for detecting what kinds of things those are. What kinds of things are people going to notice when you mess up, and what kinds of things will people only notice if you point it out? So a lot of times other people will ask me, like, hey, what do you think of this? And I'll go, well, it looks really good. And they'll go, yeah, but I messed up this thing. And I hadn't noticed. And so my answer to that is, man, if you hadn't told me that just now, I never would have known, you know? So it's okay if you mess up. And in fact, if you mess up, probably no one's going to notice. I messed up there, and I bet no one would notice if I didn't say anything. In fact, I'll just kind of not point it out, and we'll see if anybody notices how I messed up. And it turns out this brush is pretty much exactly the right size for this. So, yeah, and this is a number 2 brush. It's just a cheap brush that I got off of Amazon. I've got a billion more of them, and it is a number 2. I've got some smaller ones, and yeah, stuff. Yeah, got a little bit of paint in the recess right there. That's okay. You know, doesn't have to be. Yeah, we're not trying to win like a painting contest here. We're just trying to make this look good enough to play a board game with, basically. You know, we're not trying to win a crystal brush. We're not trying to win a golden demon. We're just painting things to put them on the tabletop and play a game with them. That's all we're doing. And so we're just gonna have fun doing that, and we're not gonna worry about how much we mess up or anything. Earlier, when I was applying wash to the other atlas, the resin one. Oh shit! See, I messed up right there. I don't think you guys can see what I'm doing. I think I'm holding this stupidly. When I was applying wash to the resin atlas, not this one, to that one, I dropped it, and it broke right off its base. And it was easy to fix, but man, that's a thing that kind of makes me angry. Is when my models break. That's a thing that I feel like people will notice, is if your models are damaged in some way, like unintentionally. I mean, you can have intentional damage, but unintentional damage. You know, oh, there's a big pile of glue here. Did something happen? Yes. Yes, I dropped it right on my desk from 45 feet in the air. I just thought, hey, what will happen if I do this, you know? But no. But I bet even if I hold that thing up to the camera, no one would be able to tell. Even though I've just said what the damage was, I bet no one would be able to tell. If I didn't point out exactly where the damage was, I bet no one could tell. In fact, let's test that hypothesis. I'll set this guy down for a second. Oh, he's looking very good. Wow, I'm very much enjoying how this is coming out so far. Okay. So, I dropped this atlas. Can you guys tell where the damage was? I'm not going to point it out. Let's see. Okay, that didn't help. Can anybody tell where the damage was? If you're just watching the replay or something, leave it in the comments if you can. If you can't tell where the damage was, just say you can't. But if you can, tell me specifically what got damaged on that mech. Because I bet you can't see it. Honestly, I can't really see it. I think I did a good job fixing it, actually. Anyway, okay. So look, we're almost done with this. With this one mech. We're almost done with this one mech. And we've only been streaming for like an hour. Cool. We've made pretty good progress. I'm kind of a slow painter, by the way, and that's fine. You don't have to like speed through everything. Just the point of it is that it's fun. So, we don't have to speed through painting. It's not speed painting, right? I mean, you can speed paint if that's what you're into, but that's not really the thing that I'm doing here. This is just making these mechs look somewhat nice. Also, I've never painted BattleTech figures before. Well, maybe that's not true. So even this particular atlas, I did paint it at one point when I was in high school and I didn't really know anything about painting. I painted this atlas and I painted a couple of other models that I bought and stuff, but man, I didn't know how to paint at that time. So, I didn't know what I was doing or anything. And also, it doesn't matter if we get paint on the base. We're gonna just, it's gonna have stuff on it anyway, so we're not gonna see that. Toker88, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. Yep, very slow painter myself. Enjoy your craft. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just take your time, do your thing. There's no rush. If you need these for like a tournament, like in like an hour, okay, yes, then you're in a rush. But no, we have no such compulsion to get done quickly. So we're just gonna take our time. We're just gonna take our time and do our thing, and if we mess up, it's fine. Yeah. Oh yeah, but I was saying, I did actually paint even this very atlas one time when I was in high school, and I didn't know what I was doing, and so I've stripped the paint off of it. Yeah, and I don't really count anything that I painted back then. So what I would do back then is I would literally just take a pot of GW paint, open it up, dip my brush in there, and apply one big thick coat to a model, and I would be like, look how good it looks. Hey. When I was like 14, 15, because I was impatient and I wanted to get it done. And I was really just more interested in like, I'm gonna go play Warhammer with my friends at the store, and and BattleTech and all the whatever other games I was playing at the time. I'm gonna go play these things. That's what I was interested in. Just get this kind of done and on the table. But now I like the painting aspect a lot more than I did back then. But also, that's also very much due to the prevalence of the internet now. Because back then, when I painted this stuff, I mean, the internet existed, but it was not what it is now. Like, you know, we had the internet, but you could not in like 2000, 2001, you could not just go on the internet and look up a painting tutorial for like a particular model or something. You could not even go on the internet and like find out how to paint generally. You had to like find a guy to like teach you a thing if you wanted to learn how to do something, and I didn't know anybody who knew how to do this, so I didn't have anybody to teach me. All right, well, there was one guy, but he was kind of a dick, but that's a different story. Anyway, so yeah, but now thanks to the internet, I'm not terrible at this. It's much easier to acquire skills in this time period than it was back then. You can pretty much learn anything you want now. That's very nice. It's very nice. Although, I don't know, I guess that readily available aspect has its ups and downs. I mean, it's good that you can just pretty much learn whatever you want at any time, whatever that happens to be. However, that does kind of raise the level of competition, I think. And that's not necessarily bad, but that is an aspect of that phenomenon. So if you want to be like really good at something, well, now the bar is higher because everybody has the potential to be really good at that same thing, you know. And I'm not saying I'm really good at this or anything. I'm not an amazing painter. I just do this for a hobby, you know. But but I am saying if you want to be really good at it, like it should be much more easy to become really good at it now than like 20 years ago. That's what I'm pretty much saying. Look, we've got one side of it done. Hey, look at that. Oh man, look how much more his right side pops than his left side. Ooh, I'm very much liking this. Yeah, BattleTech. I'm so stoked to play this game. I bought the rule book and everything. Ooh, can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait. And you do want to clean. I keep holding this in front of the microphone like it's the camera. No, this is the camera. You do want to clean off your brush periodically. You might see me just swizzle my brush around in the paint water because paint will tend to dry in your bristles. So we just wipe it off sometimes, and that's why I use the wet palette. You know, I didn't always use a wet palette. For the longest time, this was one of those things where I saw a bunch of other people using wet palettes, and I was like, that's cool, but I don't need that. I'm good with my regular palette, you know. I'm getting by just fine with it. And I was doing all right with my regular palette and everything. And then one day, I'm not exactly sure what changed. I don't know, but one day I said, you know what? All right, I'm going to give this wet palette thing a shot. And so I went on Amazon, and this Army Painter wet palette was like $20 or something, maybe $25. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna get the Army Painter wet palette because I'm a guy who kind of sticks to one brand. Like once I get a brand of thing and I like it, you know, I just continue to buy that brand because now I know I'm gonna get a quality thing, you know. And I think a lot of people are like that, right? But anyways, so I went on Amazon and I bought this Army Painter wet palette. And a day or two later it came, and I was like, okay, great, I'm going to try out this Army Painter wet palette. And I did, and holy crap, did it just, like, revolutionize the way that I painted. Because, like, if I were not using the wet palette, at this point, I would have already applied more magic blue paint to my palette like 3 or 4 times. Whereas, I mean, I've put down this one little dollop of magic blue and we're still going with it. Man, and I haven't had to like replenish it or anything. It's still going. It's good. Yeah. Wet palette. Now, there are some things that you can't use a wet palette for. Well, can't. Well, let's say you shouldn't use a wet palette for. You should not use a wet palette for metallics. You should not use a wet palette for washes. But otherwise, yeah, just your regular paints, your regular standard paints like this. Oh man, like look at this. It saves so much paint, and because it saves paint like that, it saves time. Not having to reapply your paint to the palette is a huge time saver. Wow. I'm gonna leave that little ankle part kind of dark there, I think. It saves so much time. I mean, so what I do is I mean you can see what I'm doing right here. I basically assembly line my models. So I'm doing this step on the first model right here, and then we're gonna do it on all 3 of the other models when we're finished with this one. We're gonna go through all of the other models and bring back their mid blue tone and stuff. And it just said the wet palette just saves so much time. It's insane. I couldn't believe it. It's one of those things where I was like, I can't believe I held out for so long, and I don't know why I did that. I was just like set in my way, and once I finally just like stepped out of that paradigm that I had boxed myself into, I was immediately presented with like an entirely new world of options. It was a big change for the better and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. Wet palettes are awesome. I mean, you can put washes and metallics on your wet palette, but you should not put metallics on your wet palette, because the little metal flakes in your metallic paint will kind of get into your spongy thing and contaminate it, and then you'll get little metal flakes. And it's the same reason that you shouldn't use the same paint water for your metallics and your regular paints, because you'll end up with little metal flakes in your regular paint. Now, again, if you're not trying to, win a crystal brush or a golden demon or something, this may not be a big deal to you, but those little spongy things are not super expensive. But I mean, if you don't have to buy a new one, then don't ruin it. Shit. I'm all for saving. Oh, I've skipped a line. First I've heard of wet palette. Sounds awesome. I'm all for saving. Seriously? Are you being sarcastic? You've never heard of a wet palette before? Oh, well, okay. I'm glad I could turn you on to the wet palette. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like if I were just using the palette pad that I was just applying my wash to with this, I would have renewed this on the palette several times by now. But I mean, I'm still on that initial dollop, and I mean, I'm not exactly a neat painter. Like it's all over the place, but it's because the sponge is wet and the parchment paper absorbs that. It absorbs the water at a slower rate than if we put it right on the sponge, right? And also it doesn't ruin our sponge. It keeps the paint wet, but it doesn't like overly saturate the paint. So it's not thinning the paint that I put on it, but it's just keeping it usable longer. And check this out. Hang on a second. So wet palettes have a lid, right? So when we're done painting, we can just put the lid on the wet palette, and then we put this this like band thing around it, and it holds it pretty tight. And if I don't use all of this paint tonight, and I come back to it tomorrow, I can just pick up using that same paint tomorrow. That's pretty awesome. I gotta say, it's pretty awesome. I would like to read the rule book. Me too. Yeah, I don't have it yet. I got it on eBay, and it's supposed to come sometime this week, I guess. So, but yeah, I would like to read the rule book. Yeah. I think we'd all like to read the rule book. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and Irish Rogue, you need to choose a color scheme for your mechs. So after I finish painting my Lance of Mechs, I want to paint a Lance of Mechs for you. So that way we can actually play this game. You know? So I don't think our other friend is going to be you know, physically able to play for a minute, so. However, when he is, I'll be happy to paint him some mechs too. So. Oh wow, so cool. Yeah, it is very cool. It is very cool. Yeah, it's awesome to learn like new things about the hobby that you do. Yeah. Let's see. I keep holding this so you guys can't see it. I'm sorry. This is my very first time painting on stream, on the internet. So normally I just play video games on this channel, but you know, I figured we'd try this. Yeah. We'll see how it works out. It was hard getting this area set up to actually be able to stream from it, but I did it. So. Wet palette, the way to go. It is indeed. It is indeed. I mean, the dry palette still has its place. The dry palette is still useful. I mean, as you just saw, I just started off the stream with it, so clearly it still has some function. But it's not the same function that I have traditionally associated with it. Yeah. Let's see. Almost done with the blue on this mech. Almost. Very close. Very close. Rapidly approaching that point. Fingers here. And right there. Right there. Let's see. This here. Yeah. And then I think just a little bit on his back, actually. Yeah. Here we go back here. Let's get these little skirt panels here. And, you know, they don't have to be all, like, perfectly filled in or anything. Just so there's blue paint on them. Will be good. So, yeah. And then this one, we are closing in on being done with this part. Moving on to the next map. Closing in on it. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I was saying it was kind of difficult to get this area set up for streaming. So my computer that I normally stream games from is just on the other side of the desk, right over there. So this is this desk. Oh, I gotta blow my nose. Jesus Christ, it's so runny. This desk is an 8-foot wide butcher block countertop from Home Depot. One second. Sorry. Okay. This desk is an 8-foot wide butcher block countertop from Home Depot. And so I have my computer on it. That's you know, it's my whole like gaming, computing area and stuff. And it's pretty nice. And then on the other side where I am right now, I have my hobby area where I build like Warhammer stuff and, you know, just models in general, and where I paint and everything. So I've always basically had like my microphone and everything, and like a camera type thing set up on my computer, but I never really had anything like that on the other side because it really never occurred to me that I could stream this. But really, the whole reason I started streaming was because I realized, hey, I'm just sitting around a lot of the time playing video games. Why don't I just do that on the internet? Like, I'm sitting here talking to myself playing video games. Just do that into the microphone and on camera, right? Because that's basically what I'm doing right now. I mean, you guys are here watching me, but I mean, there's nobody else in this room. You know, I'm sitting here talking to myself. I'm just doing it into a microphone, and I'm just sitting here painting a model, but I'm doing it into a camera. And so now I have set up both sides of my desk to be able to capture myself when I do that. So there we go. I think that might be good. Let's see. Oh, maybe another panel or two on his head. Maybe right here a little bit. Right here. Like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just those things. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's clear our brush off there. Okay. All right, let's see what that looks like. I don't know how well this actually shows up like in the camera, but okay, this is after we've applied our Army Painter dark tone, and then we've reapplied our Vallejo Magic Blue base coat, basically. So here's a mech where we haven't reapplied the base coat, and this is the difference. Okay, let me kind of hold it in the light. I don't know how apparent the contrast is. It's very visible as I'm looking at it, but I don't know how well the difference shows up on camera. I can kind of see it, but it's the contrast is not as sharp on camera as it is in real life. Let me put it that way. So, okay, next we just do the same thing on the other three mechs. Okay. So this is gonna take, this takes a while, but you know, if this is the sort of thing you get into, then I don't know, I find it kind of like a Zen meditation thing to just sit down and do this. And I'm not gonna reapply blue to this Atlas's head because we're gonna come in there with some Althuan gray and make it look like a skull. You're doing a great job. Well, thank you, man. You're doing a great job of being an audience. That's a weird thing to say, isn't it? I don't know. Oh, what if I hold this where you can see it? Okay. Let's see. We'll just do this. Get this in the big flat spots. stuff. I mean, immediately I can see the contrast. Let's see. Can you guys see the difference that makes, the contrast? I know this is not the ideal camera to use for this, but it's what I got, so it's what it is for the moment. Yep, the contrast is very noticeable. Okay, awesome. Okay. Yeah. Well, I guess the camera's good enough then if it's capturing what I'm doing. That's the goal. Yeah, so we'll just get it on the big panel there. And it might leave that stuff a little bit blank. Those are actually guns, and then that big gun right there sticking out of his torso, we're gonna make that black. So we'll just kind of leave that, and then we'll get his little neck armor thing here. It's Gorget. You know what? A lot of people. Okay, neck armor has a name, and I hear a lot of people pronounce this word incorrectly, like narrators in audiobooks and stuff. Okay, neck armor is called a gorget. Gorget. It is a French word, right? Gorget, but I hear a lot of people pronounce this word gorget. Ugh. Just ugh. Gorget. So we will just restore color to his gorget. There we go. That's pretty good. I suspect that these 3D printed mechs will go quicker in this step than the metal Atlas. I suspect, just because they have slightly less divisions than the metal one, but I don't know. Can't necessarily guarantee that. And then in here, I think we'll make this kind of black. This is like a little missile rack thing or something. I don't know. It's some kind of weapon, whatever it is. So probably make that black. Okay, I got a little more in there than I wanted to, but that's okay. All right. Yeah, that's looking decent so far. Okay. I love the word swizzle. Was swizzle a word before I said it? Does anyone else say the word swizzle? Did I make up the word swizzle? I don't think I did. I don't think I invented that word, but if I did, if you've never heard anyone else say the word swizzle, I invented it. I probably didn't, but I don't know. I don't even know where I heard it, but every time I swoosh my paintbrush around in the paint water, I refer to it as swizzling. Maybe other people have said that before me. They probably have, and I'm probably copying someone else when I say that. I don't know. But I like that word, and I'm gonna keep saying it. Yeah. Okay. So what if I hold this in front of the camera? How about that? Okay. And then I think we'll go to the shoulders, or maybe the. Well, let's see. Should we go down the front or under the arms? Oh, let's do the front. Let's do the front. Yeah. I think Snoop Dogg might have the swizzle. Oh, okay. That's fair. Although, isn't he called like Snoop Lion or something now? I don't know. I don't really follow like musicians and stuff. The last I heard, he became like a Rastafarian or something and started calling himself Snoop Lion. You know what? Actually, I think I vaguely remember listening to an album that he did as Snoop Lion. But I don't remember. If I did, it was quite a long time ago. And clearly it was not that memorable if I don't remember it, so. But I don't know. Maybe it was good and I just forgot about it. Let's see. Yeah, that's looking pretty cool. Ooh, I like this a lot. Wow. I think he's back to dog. Oh, okay. Well. Honestly, I liked Snoop Lion better. I think that was... It was... Like, you've heard the phrase Snoop Dogg so much that now when you say the word Snoop, you just expect dog to follow it, right? However, I feel like Snoop Lion was very innovative because you're so used to expecting dog to precede Snoop that when you put lion in front of it, Snoop Lion. What? You just blew my mind. Oh my god. And also, lions are cooler than dogs. But anyway, I don't know. Like he branded and marketed himself so well as Snoop Dogg that name became very ubiquitous. And so, I'm holding this too high, sorry. And so, just Snoop Lion out of nowhere. Oh my god, it was very intriguing. Something like that. I don't know. Maybe nobody else thought that. Maybe that's just one of those things I think that doesn't make sense. Maybe. Maybe something. Let's see. I think I was going to go down the front of this mech and then I just started doing his shoulder. Let's see. Yeah. Well, whatever he calls himself, I don't know. I'm not like super big into that sort of culture, but you know, it's cool if you guys are. You know, no judgment or whatever. I don't know. Like, he's a cool guy. You know, he's got some okay songs, but it's not like the sort of thing that was, I don't know. I'm not a big music person in general, I guess. Let's see. Am I holding my hand right in the way of what I'm doing here? Right exactly in the way. Fit in those panels. A little bit more. A little bit more. Okay. There. Okay, shoulder. Oh, I missed a spot. Right there. Okay, shoulder. Yeah, there we go. That is a very poppy shoulder. Yes. Great. Okay, yeah, I did actually mean... Oh. Sorry, but that was fun for everyone to listen to. Okay. I did actually mean to go down the front, though, and then I started doing his arm. I don't know. It's fine to paint wherever you feel interested to paint. In fact, I think that's a way to keep yourself interested in the model. Like, if you feel like painting a particular area, just paint that particular area. Don't force yourself to, you know, do a thing you're not super interested in at the time. Just, you know, it's your model and you can do whatever you want with it. There's no recipe for this. It's just a fun thing. The model police are not going to come after you if you don't paint it in exactly the formula that someone else prescribed for it or something like that. Oh, you know, I'm just realizing I should probably have posted like a link to where I got these models or something, you know. Not that I'm like required to do that, but maybe other people would want these models. So all these models that are not the metal, not this one, but all the rest of these models These are just 3D prints, like I was saying at the beginning, but they're also free. I got them on My Mini Factory, and just like if you just go on My Mini Factory and search BattleTech, these will all come up, and they are free, and you can just print them. You can just print as many as you want, and that's awesome. And they have a whole bunch of different mechs, and that's awesome. And so I have a whole bunch of different mechs, in fact. So let's see, in my airbrush booth right now, in the other room, I have, let's see, what do I have in there? I have another Atlas, another one of the Atlases that I'm holding. I have a King Crab. Oh, story about the King Crab in a second. I have a King Crab, an Atlas. I have a Catapult. Not this Catapult, the other one, the regular one with the missiles, which looks cooler. And a Blackjack, another Blackjack. Yeah. So basically another Lance of Mechs is in my airbrush booth right now. And they just have primer on them. So tomorrow I will airbrush lovely base coats onto all those guys. And then there'll also be some cool blue Davian mechs and stuff. And we'll probably paint them here on the stream at some point. And that'll be fun. Yeah. Man, look at that.
And now
That's so nice.
Geico's Motorcycle Rules of the Road.
Oh, an ad.
Before you ride,
Oh man,
make sure your mirrors are
I
clean
love
and
ads.
adjusted properly. And if you're going on a group ride,
Oh, I
make sure
love
the right
Geico
bike
ads
knows where they're
especially.
going.
Yeah. Let's see.
Ed, quick question. Where are you taking us?
Oh, I have
What
no
printer do you
idea.
use?
What am I
Oh,
believing?
I have the
Because
Anycubic
how
Photon
is that
Mono.
Where is he?
And the road
Yeah.
to saving on motorcycle
Not the Mono
insurance
X,
is,
just
in
the
15
smaller
minutes,
one.
Geico could
But
save you
yeah,
50%
the Anycubic Photon Mono. It's fantastic. I definitely recommend it. If you're looking for a really good, high resolution, inexpensive resin printer, I sound just like an ad for Anycubic, don't I? But if you're looking for the things I just said, the Anycubic Photon Mono, that is the way to go. Also, get the wash and cure station. Don't get the printer and then think that you're just gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna buy a light and use a cardboard. But no. Get the wash and cure station with it. It's not that expensive if you're buying a resin printer already. Just get the wash and cure station. But yeah, let's see. Oh, we all listened to the record the day it came out, and it was shit. I am of course referring to the Snoop Dogg reference. Oh, okay. You know what? I don't remember what it was like, actually. It might have been shit. That's very possible. I just don't remember. I'll take your word for it, though. You're probably right. You remember way more music than I do. Oh, speaking of records that you thought were shit, I did listen to that new Ghost album that you told me was shit, and I kind of liked it, actually. Yeah. You know, I was completely prepared for it to suck, and I was like, I wonder what he was talking about with this, but I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, it didn't blow my mind or anything, but you know, I thought it was pretty good, you know. As far as like a Ghost album goes, I thought it was pretty good. Imperia, I think, is what it was called, something like that. Agreed, Irish, totally forgettable. All right, I guess it was then. I mean, yeah, like I was just saying, I don't remember it, so I'm pretty sure I listened to it too. The Snoop Lion thing. Yeah. So okay. If you guys say so, I will take your word for it. Cause I mean, yeah, I don't remember. Let's see. I do, however, like this music that is on right now. This is pretty good. This is just like some royalty free. So lately YouTube has been recommending me this channel called Alpha Gaming. I think that's what it's called. And this dude who does this channel made this thing called Stream Beats, which is what this is. This is Stream Beats that we're listening to right now. Previously, I had just been using the music from, the YouTube. Hold it in front of the camera. I had just been using the music from the YouTube Creator Studio, which is fine, But, like this dude was talking about, he made all this music, for people to use on YouTube and Twitch and stuff. And I was like, well, okay, I'll give that a little checky outie. Checky outie? Who says that? Wow. Anyways, so I did, and I like it. It's pretty good. This is what is this one? This is the synthwave playlist, actually. If anybody likes it. I feel like I'm advertising for everyone. Why am I doing that? I don't know. I guess I'm just talking about things I like, so I'm not specifically trying to advertise for anyone, but just things that I like, that I use, Yeah. Just stuff. Yeah. Stream Beats, though, it's pretty good. This is the first time I have used this Stream Beats thing, and it works. Like, it has its own website, and you can just play the music on that website, and that's fine. And I was trying to do that because I didn't really want to use Spotify. But then it kept stopping for some reason, so I don't know. But you can also use like Spotify or iTunes, or there was a third thing, Amazon, I think. So I was like, fine, I'll just see what happens if I play it with Spotify, and that worked. That was even a little bit better. So that is what we're doing right now. We are listening to the Stream Beats Synthwave playlist with Spotify. I don't hate it. I think I'm going to keep using it. But I wanted a playlist that wasn't just going to repeat, every few minutes or every so often or something. So, because when I do the gaming streams where we're, playing MechWarrior or whatever game we're playing, I just have like several songs that I've downloaded from the YouTube Creator Lab, and I just save them into a playlist, and then I just kind of loop that playlist for the entire stream. And it's fine, we don't really notice so much when we're playing a video game, because we're playing a video game, and often the video game drowns it out. But right now, I'm just painting and talking about stuff, so it's much more noticeable. So I didn't want something that was going to repeat all the time like that. So I thought this would be a good time to try out this Stream Beats thing, and it appears to have been a good choice. I'm pretty into it. Hopefully you guys are into it. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I think. So on a completely different topic, I think I'm on the last episode of Season 5 of Better Call Saul right now. And wow, is it really good. Like, it just came on Netflix. So, I mean, if you guys have already seen it, please don't tell me what happens in the last episode. But, wow, yeah. Better Call Saul. If you have not watched Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, what are you doing with your life? Go watch those shows. Oh my gosh. What? How have you not seen these things? But, yeah, so I just finished episode 9 of season 5 of Better Call Saul. And it was so good. Oh my god, like I was trying to stretch this show out so I could just watch it on my lunch break from work every day and stuff. And mostly I have been doing that, but, you know, occasionally I'll watch an episode when I get home, or, you know, now it's the weekend, so, you know, I didn't really have a lot of better stuff to do, so there's a lot of Better Call Saul going on. And, yeah, I just finished that episode 9, so now I'm on episode 10. So, like, tomorrow, I'm probably going to watch episode 10 of Better Call Saul, season 5. And, you know, I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but I am just going to say, super good. If you haven't seen it, what are you doing with your life? Go watch it. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say about that. Let's see. I also just finished season 5 of Rick and Morty for like the 3rd time or something. Man, Rick and Morty is just so good. It's such an innovative kind of thing, kind of show. Love Rick and Morty. I mean, I guess it would be weird if you met someone who didn't like Rick and Morty, but I love Rick and Morty. Rick and Two Crows forever, yeah. I don't know. If you haven't seen Rick and Morty by now, you're also doing something wrong in your life, I think. But yeah, anyway, let's see. Oh, did I just hit the camera with the paintbrush there? That's neat. I'm awesome, huh? Okay. It is by far the weakest Ghost album. Okay, yeah, again, I'm not saying that it blew me away or that it was the best thing ever made by human hands or whatever. I'm not saying that. But it was all right. You know? It was all right. I especially like Hunter's Moon. That was pretty good. Hunter's Moon. Though my memories have faded, they come back to haunt me once again. Yeah, no, it was pretty good. Let's see. Looking Two Crows. Okay. Alright, so we've got this leg done. We've got some of the front of the torso. We've got basically the whole front of the torso done. Yeah, this is not necessarily a quick process. So let's see. How long have we spent doing this already? Yeah, a while. But to be fair, this is actually probably going to be the longest part of the painting process, is just kind of restoring vibrance to the model. I mean, we can already see, you know, how much the contrast on the left leg has improved versus the contrast on the left leg. It's just dark and bland, and then the right one or the left one is very poppy and colorful and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. 1 second here. This song is reminding me of like an 80s workout montage or something like that. Something like that. I don't know. You're the best around. No one's gonna ever keep you down. Pickle Rick. You're a pickle and what? And 9. What was it? I can't remember what he said now. It's been too long since I've seen that episode. What, 9/11 was an inside job or something like that? I'm a pickle and what? 9/11 was an inside job? That's not enough for you? Yeah. Pickle Rick was great. Oh, another ad. Wow, great. Okay, hold this in front of the camera. See. Yeah, Rick and Morty though. Rick and Morty's fantastic. That is by far one of the best shows that has probably ever been created, I would think. Yeah. Oh, I am going to need to replenish this paint. Most of it up. Almost gone. You know, I think it's kind of, I don't know, is ironic the word? I think it's kind of ironic that this whole synthwave kind of music style, I mean, I like it, but I think it's ironic that this whole synthwave kind of style is very much trying to sound like 80s music, but it can never be 80s music, because 80s music came from the 80s, and it will never be the 80s again. So there's really only a finite supply of 80s music, and yes, I need new, and I finally need new magic blue paint now. All right, let's put some more down. So I mean, it's like a cyclical phenomenon, right? Like this style of music that was fashionable in the 80s has come back around now, but it's not 80s music anymore, right? Even as much as it might want to be 80s music, it can never be 80s music. 80s music is from the 80s. There's a finite supply of 80s music. And that's not to say that I don't like it. I mean, I definitely like it. I mean, I'm playing it on my stream, so clearly I like it, but it's just an interesting thing. I wonder, I don't know that this sort of music even thinks of itself that way, but that's kind of the impression that I get from it, is that it's trying to imitate that style, I guess. Something like that. Yeah, something like that. And that's fine. You know, imitation is the highest form of flattery, right? So if you try to imitate 80s music, well, you must very much like 80s music then, and that's cool, you know. I mean, I like 80s music, as evidenced by my synthwave playlist. Like, a lot of stuff seems to be going that way, like trying to recreate the vibe of the 80s and stuff. And that's also cool. I think a lot of people currently are nostalgic for what they feel to have been a better time, because you know, times kind of suck currently. Not that I'm not gonna go into a whole political thing. I'm not gonna do that on this channel, but you know, just shit's hard right now, and people become nostalgic for the past, and that's normal. And so the culture and the music and the just everything reflects what people desire, it reflects what people want their environment to be like. Am I making any sense right now? I'm probably just rambling into a microphone while I'm holding a paintbrush. I don't know. But I don't disagree with the vision that the music creates. I like it, you know? But you know, as the expression goes, you can't go home again. Which sucks. We can create a new thing that's very much like home, but it will never be exactly the same thing. I don't know. I thought about creating a new channel where I just talk about like more esoteric topics. Because I don't want to do that on this channel. I want this channel to be about, you know, video games and painting and tabletop games and just, you know, more easygoing stuff. But I thought about creating a second channel where I talk about more serious things, I guess. More hardcore, heavy things and stuff. I don't know. If anybody is interested in that, then maybe I'll do that. But yeah. I don't know. Shit to talk about while I'm painting, though, at the moment. Give me some topics. What do you guys want to talk about? Let's see. Hunter's Moon is probably the only track off that record that I like. Oh, really? Yeah, there are other good songs. There are other good songs on there. There are some bad songs on that album, to be fair, but there are other good songs than Hunter's Moon. That was just my favorite one. Okay. Yeah, let's see. And is information is ammunition? I mean, yeah. So says Adam Steiner, right? Yeah. Yeah, you watched BattleTech, the TV show. Yeah. That's the thing Adam Steiner says. And then that sergeant guy, man, I would have either just court-martialed that guy or just shot him, right? That's just keep disrespecting your superior officer like that. Wow. I bet that doesn't really fly in the military. That's a thing I should ask Aramis about next time he pops into the stream. What happens when you mouth off to your superior officer? Huh. Aramis is a dude who pops into the stream periodically, and he's in the Navy. And, yeah. That's a question I should ask him. Because if you haven't seen the TV show of BattleTech from the I gotta hold this in front of the camera. If you haven't seen the TV show of BattleTech from the 90s, the main character is a nobleman, Adam Steiner, from House Steiner. And he has this sergeant in his company who just disrespects him, like at every turn. Every time he gives an order, every time he decides what the company's gonna do, just this guy's like, "Oh, is that right, schoolboy?" And he calls him schoolboy like that, like very mockingly, you know, just in front of everyone. And he's like, "Oh, is that you know best, schoolboy?" And that's how he talks too, like with that gruff accent, that gruff accent that they clearly intend to represent an uneducated person, right? And he's proud of that too. He's proud of being an uneducated person, and he talks about it, you know, while he's having conversations with Adam Steiner and stuff. Like, I didn't go to no fancy academy. I learned in the cockpit of a mech, blah blah blah. You know, that kind of thing. 'Cause he thinks that that schooling is a waste of time or something, or he's just I don't know what his problem is, but man, he's so disrespectful to Adam Steiner, who is his commanding officer. Like, how can you just do that? Like, what is his problem? Well, I mean, I get what his problem is, but like, you can't just act like that. That's so stupid. I don't know. That guy. That's a thing that I want to ask Aramis about. Like, what happens in the actual military when you act like that towards your superior officer?
Geico's motorcycle
Oh,
rules
more
of the
Geico
road.
commercials.
Avoid biking in the rain and never
Maybe
touch
the
another
80s
person's
is
bike.
more of
Hey,
a
guys,
genre
look at
than
these
it is an
bikes.
era.
So shiny.
Huh. That's an interesting perspective. Okay.
I'm
More
gonna
of a
leave a note.
genre than an era.
Oh gosh, there's more.
I
And
mean,
the rule for
it is a
saving on
genre.
motorcycle insurance is, in 15 minutes, Geico could
But-
save you 15% or more.
It's okay, the 80s is a genre of music in the same way that Latin is currently a language, right? Latin still exists and people speak it, but it's a dead language. There will never be new words in Latin. There will never be new conversational phrases in Latin. There will never be new slang terms in Latin, right? Latin is used, Latin and Greek both are used for science because they don't change at this point. So they're good for for cataloging things, okay? But the point is they don't change, right? And that's my point about 80s music, right? It can't change. In the same way there can't be new Latin words, there can't be new 80s music. Yeah. It can't happen. Because the 80s are gone. And everyone who natively spoke Latin has been dead for a couple thousand years, right? Like, Latin is no one's native language at this point. And yeah, I don't know. There's something like that. If you get what I'm saying there. Let's see. This mech is going pretty quickly. It has nice big flat areas. Let's see. Am I holding my hand right in the way of what I'm painting? I don't know. Let's see. No, I think we're okay. Something like that. Yes, there we go. Oh, I got a little piece of resin flash there. Anyway, let's see. That's most of his back. Okay, so we got his front. We got both legs. We got that shoulder. We've got most of his back done. Okay. Yeah. This is going pretty nicely. Somebody give me a topic. I'm gonna run out of things to talk about eventually. I've only got so many topics in my brain. Somebody give me something else to talk about here. I guess I could just shut up and paint in silence, but I don't feel like that would be fun for anyone to watch. It would just be like... Yeah, see, that's not that fun, is it? I'm just listening to the music. The music is really only there to accentuate the things I'm talking about, I think. It's like an underscore or a not a counterpoint, but an emphasis or a thing to like keep your attention. I don't know, something like that. It's a thing to fill an otherwise empty audio space, I guess. Because like I can talk for as long as I want, but you know, there's always going to be this kind of silence. And so we have background music, or we have the concept of background music, I guess, to fill that silence. Oh, that's looking really good. That's looking really good. I'm very happy with the way this is going. This looks fantastic. Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna paint that gun black, so we'll skip that. So 3D printing stuff, whether you're using an FDM printer or a resin printer, leaves layer lines in your model. Now, they're much less noticeable and much less prevalent in resin models or in resin prints than in FDM prints, but they do still exist. However, the layer lines in resin prints, I feel like they make these cool little what's the word I'm looking for here? Like you know how wood has like these cool patterns and textures and stuff, and I don't know what that's called. I'm sure there's a name for it, but I don't know what it is. But anyways, resin prints have the same kind of thing, and I don't hate it. You probably can't see it on this webcam, but resin prints totally have that kind of marbling is the wrong word. Like here's one that doesn't have anything on it. Let's see. I can only hold this so close before it'll go out of focus. You're not gonna be able to see it on this camera. But anyways, let me just verbally convey to you that the resin prints have these layer lines, but they're very interesting looking. I feel like they give the model some character and stuff. They give it like an interesting texture, and I just don't hate it. You know, I feel like if it were an FDM model, I feel like if it were an FDM print, that the layer lines would be fairly annoying. But with resin prints, it's just not that annoying. It doesn't bother me at all, actually. Let's get a little fingers here. Each one. Stuff here. That's pretty small. Okay. And on the bottom. Now, a lot of the time, I also go with the rule, not the rule, but the guideline that if I can't see it, if the model is just standing like this, and there's a part that I can't see, I'm not going to bother painting it. But I don't know. I'm just having a good time. And so now that arm is finished. And so now we just have to do the other arm. And I think I'll mostly leave his head like this. I think. Well, no, okay, you know what? Maybe we'll fill in the head a little bit. I don't know. Let's see. Now, I'm not going to do this part right here because we're going to make that metal. We're going to make that a metal color, but I am going to do this. I'm gonna do this part. Back of the neck thing here. We're gonna do this. Decent. I'm very much liking this. Yeah, I mean, of course, we're not gonna finish all the mechs on the stream tonight. It's gonna take several sessions. Again, I'm a slow painter, so. But you know, it's just fun. It's just a fun thing to do. There is no deadline. They don't have to look a certain way. The only requirement for this is that it is fun. Just a little here. Okay. Yep. Like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's pretty good. Okay, so now it's just this arm, basically. And maybe a little right here. Yeah. There we go. Oh, that looks better. Yeah. Okay. And then also right there. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. So, just the left arm, and you know what? Maybe we'll do blue more generally on his head, and then we'll leave a little section where we're gonna put the skull part in there. Yeah, I think we'll probably do a thing like that. Yeah, actually, let's do that before we do the arm, because that seems more interesting right now. So we'll start out making a little line here. So here's what we'll do. We'll do this. It's okay if it's not perfectly straight. Just make a little freehand line like that. And then we'll just fill in from there. Just fill in around that and behind it. Yeah. Yeah, and I'll just conveniently hold my hand right in front of that so you guys can't see any of what I was doing there. Okay. Let's see. What about this? Can we all see if I do that? I will figure out how to hold this so you guys can see eventually. It will happen. Something like that. And then in the areas where I haven't put blue paint will be where the white skull part goes. So something like that. So now it looks like he's wearing a little cap, basically. Let's see. Again, I just want to say you're doing a great job. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate you saying that. It's nice to hear that people think that. Okay. Yeah, so now it's just the left arm. Okay. Left arm. Alright. Let's do the left arm. Let's see. How about the new A23 movie? Have you heard about that? You mean A24? No, I have not. What is it? Nope. No, in fact, I almost never hear about A24 movies. Unless A23 is a different thing. But, I almost never hear about those movies. I almost always just kind of randomly come across them. Or sometimes I will just, like, Google A24. And then that way that's basically how I found out about the Green Knight. Was I was just looking for A24 movies, and then boom, there that was, and stuff. But no, I haven't heard about it at all. It's called Marcel and the Voyage Home, I think. Oh. Okay, you know what? We'll Google it right after we finish the left arm here. So I would like to know about that. If it looks like it's any good, maybe I'll go watch it when I'm done streaming. What time is it? Oh, it's only like 12:30. How long have I been streaming? Wow, I've been streaming over 2 hours. Interesting. I mean, it's the weekend, so I started earlier. You know what? I tried scheduling this stream ahead of time. I'm not gonna do that again. I can't do that. I just need this to happen whenever I need it to happen. I can't wait till a certain time.
Samsung Galaxy S22 Plus. No matter how you celebrate mom, it's the perfect
Let's
gift
see.
to keep her in the best light all day.
So if you are watching this and you're a person who needs YouTube things to happen on a schedule, I'm not your guy. I tried scheduling this. You know, when I was doing this channel a couple of years ago, when I was like uploading videos and stuff, I was doing it on a schedule, and it was so stressful. That's why I stopped. Really, it was so stressful to like have to keep to a schedule like that, and I don't like it. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to schedule my streams ahead of time. Just if you happen to catch them, then you happen to catch them, and that's great. And if you don't happen to catch them live, that's also fine. You can just watch the video of it after it's not live, and that's completely fine. I am okay with that and stuff. But I can't schedule it. I'm sorry. I tried it tonight, and I was just waiting around all day, going, "Oh my god, I want to stream," but I scheduled it, and now I have to wait, and it doesn't work for me. Plus, it could also go the other way, where if I schedule it at a time and then like something happens, I'm like, "Oh, now I can't stream at the time when I scheduled it." Like, yeah. So no schedules. Let's see. The stuff on wood you are referring to is called grain. Oh, okay. So, yeah, 3D prints have kind of a grain to them. And I like it, actually. I think a lot of people have a problem with it, but I do not. I like it. I think it's a very unique look. I mean, it's an identifying mark, certainly. So if you saw it, you'd be like, oh, that thing was 3D printed, you know. But that's not a negative thing for me. That does not have a negative connotation. I'm just like, oh, okay. I think it's pretty. It's aesthetically pleasing. It's just like, you know, injection molded plastic does not have a grain, really. It's just all smooth, and you know, that's good. So you can just kind of paint however you want on it, and I mean, you can paint however you want on a 3D print, and that's fine, but it does have a nice grain. Yeah, grain. That. Oh, damn it! Ah, look what I did. That's very nice, isn't it? Ah. Anyway, okay. At least I didn't drop the whole model again. Let's see. What was that movie? Marcel and the Voyage Home. Okay. Alright, we're almost done with this arm. So once we finish this arm, we're gonna look up this movie. Like A24 movies. Also, if you've never heard of A24, just Google A24 and watch some of their movies. Midsummer, Hereditary, The Green Knight, The Witch with 2 V's instead of a W. Irish Rogue, didn't really care for that one, but I really liked it. Yeah. Some excellent movies come from that studio, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, here we go. Fingers. These things here. This thumb. Oh, that's his thumb. Oh, okay. I think that's it. Okay. I think we're done with this step on this model. Yeah, oh, I missed a spot. Missed a little spot here. Music kicks ass. Very much enjoying it. Okay, there we go. Oh, just kind of appreciating this song right now. Ooh, this is good. This is really good. Okay, so we're gonna check out this movie real quick. I mean, we're not gonna watch it or anything, but I just want to like read a synopsis of it. So we'll just clean our brush out here, same way. Let's see, can we? Okay, there we go. Now I can see that. Just roll it around in the cleaner and then on the napkin here. Whizzle it around in the water. Yes, my water is like completely blue. It's like the blue milk from Star Wars now. Put the thingy back on it there. Okay. And then I'll just take one of my monster brushes down. This should be pretty much dry. And then we'll hang it up here. Let it dry. Okay. Alright. Second. Okay, let me see. I got my wireless keyboard here with a thing. If you were looking for a wireless keyboard with a trackpad, don't buy this one. It kind of sucks. But anyway, that's what I'm using right now. So let's check out this movie real quick. What is it? How do I use this thing again? Oh, I have to turn it on, right? Yeah, okay. It turns off after so long, and then it's done. Okay. Marcel and the Voyage Home. Okay. Marcel. No. Keyboard sucks. The Voyage.
And now it's Geico's Motorcycle Rules of the Road.
Well, more Geico commercials.
Avoid biking in the rain and never touch another person's bike.
Hey guys, look at these bikes. So shiny.
Okay, I'm getting a lot of stuff about Star Trek 4.
I'm gonna leave a note. Oh gosh, there's more.
Let's see.
And the rules
Okay,
are
what
set
if I
on
just
motorcycle
Google new
insurance is,
A24
in
movie?
15 minutes, Geico could save you 15% or more.
A24. There we go. The Green Knight. Oh, is it a movie called X? What is this? Huh. Are you sure that's the name of the movie? Let's see. What is the next A24 movie? I meant 24. Yeah, but are you sure it's called Marcel and the Voyage Home? Are you sure that's what it's called? I'm not seeing that particular title. I do see a movie I haven't heard of before called X. That looks interesting. Let's see. Let's see the synopsis for that. Oh, that's too far away. I can't read that from here. Let's see. Shift Windows key makes that be over here. Okay. Okay, synopsis for X. A group of actors set out to make an adult film in rural Texas under the noses of their reclusive hosts, but when the elderly couple catches their young guests in the act, the cast find themselves in a desperate fight for their lives. And that came out last month. The 18th of March. That looks pretty good. Okay, I want to check that out. But that's not the movie you're talking about. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see that. So, and no. Marcel and the White Star? This is not a movie, but what is this? I don't know. I can't read that from here. It's too far. My other monitor is too far away. You know, why don't I just put that over here for now? Oh, because then I can't see the chat if I do that. Let's see. Well, oh, the detective mouse. Oh, no. Okay, I don't care about that. All right, let's see. Okay, let's go back to new A24 movies. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing, but just bear with me here. Let's see. I'd have to set up a whole new thing to make it capture this monitor. I don't want to do that. I don't see that. I do see a number of A24 movies that I haven't actually seen before. Huh. The Sky is Everywhere. Lamb. False Positive. Come on, come on. The Humans. Okay, I gotta look this up later when I'm not streaming. Huh. Live your life, people. Huh. Okay. Let's get back to painting. Anyway. I don't know. You can tell me about this movie later or something. Let's see. Okay. Ow. Ow. I'll just bump the desk real hard. I do have a shock mount on this microphone, so. How long have I been streaming right now? Oh, 2.5 hours? I think I'm gonna stop for tonight, actually. Kind of tired of bending over this desk right now. Yeah, I'm gonna just put the lid on my wet palette here. Resume that later. Okay, but we got okay, this is the longest step in painting these kind of models, and we got it done on the 2 biggest mechs. So next time we come back, which likely will be tomorrow, we will only have to do this on the 2 smaller mechs, or I might just do it off camera. I don't know. Well, I'll see what I feel like. Because that's really what it comes down to, is what do I feel like doing at the time I feel like doing it? You know, that's going to determine what and when the stream is. So it really just needs to be at my whim. So that's what it's going to be. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm going to stop here for tonight. Yeah, this was really fun. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. This was my first time painting anything on the internet. I'm pretty sure. I don't think I did any. Yeah, no. I'm pretty sure this is my first time painting anything on the internet. And I had a lot of fun doing it. So I'm probably going to do it again. Yeah. Very possibly tomorrow. I mean, I'm gonna stream tomorrow, but it may possibly be a painting stream. If it's not a painting stream, it'll be, you know, a video game stream. There will be a stream tomorrow. Just yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna stop for tonight. So I need my keyboard. Okay. Yeah, cool. Okay, so yeah, that's it. That's it for tonight, everybody. Thanks for watching. Be sure to do all of the YouTube things. Be sure to like and subscribe and do a third thing. And that's it. Yeah, cool. I'm gonna stop now, so I will see you guys tomorrow for whatever the stream turns out to be tomorrow. Probably painting, but we'll see. So anyways, good night, everybody.